YouTube channel. I supposed not to record the video about this, but I see someone says video dropping soon, right? So then I feel like I have to talk about this in the chat. So the only simple things that I'm gonna tell you guys right now is there is things that we need to focus on, and there is things that we need to look in the market that they are more important to us as a trader, so that we can be able to catch the movement. I know people, they are trying to learn so many different stories, trying to learn everything that they can on their way, what they see, because they believe when they learn a lot of stuff, this is when they're going to make it big. No, but according to my understanding, is quite different from learning most of the topic. The only thing that I'm gonna show you guys is I'm gonna show you guys on V75. So I'm just gonna start from scratch on how someone could get the entry and what you have to look at on V75 so far, because I was looking at it and trying to back test. What is these things to remove? Let me remove this one. Okay, so if you can check V75, you guys knows I trade V75, and there was the levels all this time. You see, all this area was the area that I was trading V75. It even looked messy. So the only thing that I was looking at on V75 today was, if you remember on the projection video, I think one of the video I made was something like I was saying market has to come somewhere here, if I'm not mistaken. This was the area I was saying it has to come, but it ended up coming almost close to the level, then start dropping. So like, let's say from this area, someone could refine the entry from this rejection block, because after this rejection block, then we have all this liquidity. You see, this one act as a liquidity. So there is 4 topic that you need to understand as a trader. Is you need to know the market structure. When you understand the market structure, then you need to know where there is a liquidity, where liquidity was resting. So if you understand all those things, then believe me, anything that you see in the market is going to be easy for you. But if you are trying, let's say you are coming to the market, you don't even understand what is happening, what do you look for, where is the direction of the market, this is what you end up having so many different topics in front of you that you don't even know which one you need to look in the market and which one you need to apply. And people, they get confused because they don't know what they are looking. I remember I used to watch one video, I was trying to understand, and the person was saying there is a 4 process that you need to understand about the market. So the first one is you look for the measure structure, like a break of measure structure. Then you need to look for the next liquidity. Where is the next liquidity? I'm going to draw it for you guys. Then the other topic that he was talking again was you need to look for the decision point that is almost close to it. Then you trade the reaction. So you need to look again for the, let's say, the candlestick that was playing. Let me try to open face trading view, and I'll try to see on trading view if I can get all this stuff properly. Yeah, because this is the trading view. Then let me bring the trading view this side. So let me make V75. Sure, from here maybe it's gonna be a bit fine. And let me mark things that we are gonna use. So we're going to use this one, and then we are going to use this. We use this one also. We use the arrow. Okay, what else we are going to use? Maybe we're gonna use this one to try and show where you could scalp. And yeah, we are going to use also this one. I think this one they're okay so far. So if you remember what I was saying on the previous video was we have this rejection block, market come there, plus we have this liquidity. You see this eco eyes, the one that were here. So let me change the color to be at least black so that we can see it properly. Then if you check the things that I was saying in terms of structure, I forgot one thing. In terms of structure, we need also this one. So in terms of structure, what you need to understand is you need to mark all your point of structure. Then you need to understand what is happening. And if you remember again, I was saying about this area to be the area where market has to come and try to, to take the entry from here. This was also another level. And here, there is a level on weekly time frame. It's also a rejection block somewhere here, because if you drop to weekly time frame, since we are using this one, I think it's somewhere here. This is why there is that rejection. And you can see the way market touch this area. So how are you going to be able to catch this movement? This is what I'm going to try to draw here. Let's say you have your decision point. I keep on repeating these things like every single day. You have your decision point. The only thing that you want to see is how is the market coming this side. Let's say market come here, then go to the upside, then market mitigate this area. If you are a person who knows how to risk, you can take your trade straight from here. Or what are you going to see? You just want to see how market, let's say, market goes to the upside like this and try to create something like this, then break this area. So when you see the break of structure of this one, this is the major structure break, market break this area. Then the only thing that you as a trader, what you need to focus on, you see you have your major break of structure. Then you try to understand. This was the IFC, let's say the block that was here. This is your block where markets come and mitigate. You see, this is your block. Then what did the market leave here? That is going to be the things that you need to focus on. What is market leave here? And was there any liquidity that market ran? Yes, this was liquidity that market ran, like the one we call a stop ant. Was there any inducement? That is the question you need to ask yourself. Was there any inducement? Like in supply and demand, we call it the FTR, because it failed to return to a level where we have a demand level. Market can do anything it wants before it get to this zone. Market can do even something like this. Maybe it goes up. Sometimes market can even go like this. But as long as there is this inducement here, this is going to be your target. This is why you see market is just going to get here, trap people like this, then drop, then continue. So this is going to be something that you need to pay attention to. The first entry here is the one that we call a risk entry, because you are not sure if market is going to break the last swing that produced this lower low. Then if market is not doing like that, let's say you are buying, at the end of the day, this one come and kick you out. This is why we want to see that change of character. We want to see this shift where market break this one, is already created an inducement, or can create an inducement, maybe let's say somewhere here, then they come to the downside to come and seek where there is order. This is what you need to see in the market. And sometimes you're going to see market break this one, pull back again inside, continue again. So this is the things that you need to apply. When you apply something like this in a market, believe me, everything is going to be clear for you. If you go to weekly time frame, let me show you guys on weekly time frame what I was talking about this area, because I know this area. I've been watching about this level. Then check what happened. Let me show you. If you guys gonna see, let me zoom again. This is what I was telling you. Do you see? Again, here there is this body, the way they close to each other from here. Do you see? Market come and trade there. So it's the same scenario. Let me now go back to the trading view, because here is gonna be a bit simple. When I try to explain, it's gonna be a bit fast. And you're gonna see, because market get here. This is our H4. Let's say we go to H4. Then we try to understand what is happening inside that line. I'm not gonna take an entry straight because market gets on this zone. What if market can come and decide, let's say maybe you wanna trade at this zone. But me, I risk already from here. The market is not going. The only thing that is going to help me to get an entry here is I need to see maybe, let's say, on M15, what is happening on that zone. So if I see something that is proper on M15, then I want to see how is market playing with my structure. That is going to be the only thing that is going to do it, is going to help me. Guys, let me close these things first because it's making noise. That is going to be the only thing that is going to help me on how to understand how I could be able to catch the movement, let's say, from here. Let me mark that zone again. Okay, that is the zone. So that is going to be the level that I'll look on how to take the entry. This is the area, the way I'll look to take the entry. And people that they trade, let's say, the SNRC or whatever, you see, okay, they will risk already straight here. And some people also end up saying to themselves like, maybe market is going to come here. There is nothing wrong, because this one also can be another possibility of markets coming back to this area, how you can take your entry. The only thing I always tell you guys is you need to mark your structure points and try to understand what is happening inside your structure. Because if we end up marking, I forgot also that things. If we end up marking, we're going to say this one, then we have, I just marked the closest one. So sorry guys, just mark the closest one. But the major one started from here. This one was creating like liquidity, because when I go to more low time frame, you're going to see what happened there. So already from here, I understand something. Okay, I have this on. Before I have this on, this is where I'm going to look. Let's see if market can come here, respect, and come to the downside. This is why I need to see a confirmation for me to be able, let's say, to catch this movement and go to the upside. Now, there is one thing that you need to check. I can go, let's say, I go to M1 from here and try to see how I'm going to catch the entry, because I'm talking about to get the reversal here. What is that I need to see? Because this is the area, this low is the area that mitigates our weekly level that we got. But the only thing that is going to allow me to take the trade from this zone is I need to see that momentum shift. I need to see that change of character that is going to allow me to take the trade. Because if you check here, we have this low, then market creates this high. This is M1. If you mark all your structure on M1, then you understand what I'm talking about. So this one was the one that produced this lower low. So this is the higher low. The only thing I'm just gonna wait is for market to run this level. If market run this level, then I get a confirmation of saying I'm gonna take a trade to go long. This is the area that I'm gonna take the trade to go long. And again, so when you are, let's say you are buying from here, the only thing that you need to check is where is your liquidity. For this block to be valid, I need to see the inducement. You see this one, the way they created. It's become an inducement for them to make this other block to become a valid. This is the last point. You trade the reaction. So you look for the major break of structure, you look for the next liquidity, you look for the candlestick that was being mitigated, let's say the demand or block, whatever. And this approach is not my approach, but it's something that also I learned and I implement it. And I feel it's okay when you have a logic that you are looking in the market. You know already when you open your trades, you understand that, okay, this is what I need to look in the market and I need to apply this for you to be able to make the best of all the trade. Then you need to have your target. What is your target? The only thing that I could see as the target from this area that is going to help me is gonna be, we need to check, let's say if you check this area, do you see how they manipulate that zone? Let me make it on black, at least black big. Do you see how they manipulate this area here? Market's supposed to hold here, but why did this one manipulate all the level, go to the upside? Someone will ask me, why did you go and choose that level? Because I choose that level because of this structure. That is why I choose. And this one, for me, it's gonna act as a liquidity because it did not get close to this area. And there is also this block But the most important, like for people that they trade with big stop loss, they can even open the trade from here, because there is also an internal break of structure somewhere here. So this is going to be the zone where we have to look. But because I understand about the SNRC2 or whatever SNRC1, I know already here there was a manipulation, and market's supposed to hold only from this area, from this block. But since this one goes to the upside, did not mitigate this one, but it mitigates this fair value gap, the one that is there. This is why market leave this area as the area there we need to target. But at the same time, we have again liquidity inside here. You see this liquidity, and is the one that end up making all this zone to become a valid, because we have a sort of QML from this area. You see, we have a sort of QML from this area. Now people end up asking me again, why do you select only the body, not the wick? Because my QML, as you guys knows, it always starts from the body up until the wick. But it depends on which wick that I'm looking at, so for me to be able to catch the movement. And as you can see again, now this is what end up happening. They come, create an adjustment. Here we have this block, the one we call the breaker or whatever. Markets come, mitigate that area, go to the upside. Here is the same logic again. If you check properly, what do you see? Me, I see my eyes, maybe I've already trained my eyes to see these things. So we have break of structure, sorry, stop and break of structure, inducement. We come and fill this area to buy. You see what is happening? Then when we are buying, so we need to understand we have this entry, and one of my brother took this entry, Moses. He took the entry from here. I think no, this one he missed the entry, and I still believe we still have this entry on top, because we discussed with him about this entry already. He was looking on M3. Let me show you guys what he was looking on M3. He was looking on M3 somewhere here. Let me show you guys. So he was looking on M3. What I was telling you guys, that like someone can sell from here, or the other person can sell from the top. So he was looking at this ident base as is going to be his entry. And believe me, even like that, that is fine. It's not a problem. Because if, let's say, someone take the entry from this one and can say my stop loss is going to be above the eye, this person will still be on this trade. And like me, I was looking at my trade to take it on this line because of that manipulation that was happening there. I can also be on this trade. All of us, we can be on that trade. Then where is our target? The only thing that we need to understand is that on M5 or M3, market did break this eye, because this eye was the one that produced this lower low, and it created an inducement, plus this block is going to act like, if you don't know how to trade this engulfing stuff, you wouldn't understand what was happening here. You see, we have the engulfing candlestick. This week engulfed the previous week. This is our decision point. Plus, we have a sort of liquidity. If you don't consider this one like a stop, and the one that all of you guys knows how I trade, you could not get the entry from here. But as long as you understand what you know, because most of the people, what they'll do, smart money traders, they'll say this is their block. This is their block, and they'll put a stop loss below and check what will end up happening. Let's say someone is going to say, I'm taking out the 50% and my stop loss. And you know those guys, the way they normally trade, they'll put a stop loss, let's say maybe below somewhere here. Then depend on the person. Maybe they're still in, or if the person just say, let me put a bit of stop loss. Maybe let's say I give a room, maybe 2 pips below, and they're still on this trade. But when you wait for the proper and the right time for you to take your trade, then you take your entry. What you see here again, the same stuff, break of structure, we return again. If you go to M1, you're gonna see you could catch a base movement again from this area. You could catch again the base entry from this area. From the chart that I sent on the group, I'll go to the group, then I'll show you guys what I was looking at. But here comes a story now. How do you take all these trades? Remember, this is the entry I was telling you. My bro took the entry here, and me, I was looking on top. For my reason, him also he has reason. I think I understand this reason because of that M3 ident base. But the only thing that I want to see now before I take this trade, let's say if I don't want to risk more about the top there, I just want to see what is the last ILO that produced this II. This is what I want to see. So I understand that this one here was the one that produced this II. Then markets come and break it. The only thing that is going to allow me to take the trade, I need just to see the inducement. I'm not going to start looking on top or looking somewhere, but the only thing I want to try to understand first is, did the market create liquidity? Yes. Where is the nearest point that market has to come and fill? This is what you need to understand. This is the nearest point that market has to fill. If you want to take this trade with snipe entry, you need to come and make it from there. This is the bearish engulfing type 2. The one Mansoli called Mera, this one. This candlestick engulfed the previous one. It's the same scenario on how we take the buy again from this area. This is what happened again from the sell side. This is what you need to look. It's a simple logic. You don't have to kill yourself trying to implement so many stuff. You don't even need to go and learn everywhere just to understand this. This is simple as you can. You can see again, we have again another break of structure. This is for you to be able to catch, let's say, those continuation trade. The break of structure, there was a liquidity here. If you check here, there is a sort of QML. Do you see what is happening here? Sort of QML. And you're going to ask yourself like, okay, why here also there is the bearish engulfing, but why, let's say bearish engulfing, why you did not take this from the week? The only thing that I follow from this one is the QML, but this QML is aligned with his decision point. And you see where the wick is, it starts from here. Then this also could be a perfect zone that you could be able to catch the movement. You see this one from here. And there is one more zone. I can even say like this. This is my zone. Start from here, or what I can do, I just put align with the QML. Then I put, this is all my zone. And here is the same scenario, same topic. You're going to see again, it's happened again all over. Same thing, like on this V75, these things play a lot. You need to backtest them. Then you're going to see that they play a lot. Again, another bearish engulfing, type 1, the week engulfed the previous one. Then we come to the downside. This one was acting as a liquidity for them to come and sell from there. They break, they come again, they sell. Goes to the downside. This is how you could take all this trade. It's something that is simple. It's something that doesn't require you to make all the effort, learning all the crazy stuff you see outside there. No, just make it simple. Make it simple as you can. Imagine just by catching all this movement, all this retracement, and you're catching again this buy stuff to go to the upside. It's so simple. This is what I was telling you. Let me show you guys. We are not just making up story. We come with something that were not there, whatever. If you can check, this is the stuff I've been sending to people, you see, in the group. After those backtesting, how could be able to catch all this stuff. It's the things that I look in the market. When I see them playing, I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm going to do. I'm gonna show you guys, you know, me and my bro, when we wanna talk about these things, we laugh a lot. Let me show you where he was looking at this trade. So he's taking this trade. I'm not going to show you guys this trade, but he's taking. And this was me. I was telling him this one was a risk entry. And the other one was a reduced risk entry. Because we have been talking about all this trade. Then, okay, this was his level. Do you see? I told you guys he was looking on how to sell from the ident base because he was on M3. This is how he was looking at. And this is what ended up happening, you see. So he was looking to sell from here and this one. Because he doesn't use this SNRC one, whatever. He doesn't use them, but he used this other stuff. And he's also very, 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 very good. Anything that I know, he knows also. Because me and him, we learned for so long. We learned together. We started from scratch until we are the kind of person we are today. So we know each other from so long and we understand the market the same way. So guys, I hope this video is going to make sense to you. It's something that is so simple. But even like that, I'm still believing of these things. just to drop. This is my belief. Let's see what is going to happen. So, but so far, I still believe these things has to drop. If it's gonna drop, I'll be happy, because this one for me is like they already create all this liquidity. But so far from here, we had the break of structure and we break the measure point. So what do you see now? We need to see where market is gonna run, because I'm not gonna look to buy from any zone like here. I'm gonna look to see how market is going to run this low. I need to see how market is going to run this low. Then I'm gonna look, let's say, if market is gonna come and fill this area of imbalance, or if they'll come and fill this low. But the only thing that I'm gonna look at is gonna be the reaction. If there will be a reaction, then I'm gonna look for that trade. So let me show you my analysis now so that you guys can see. Do you see? This is my analysis, guy. Nothing complicated. Let me check something here. Let me see. Mera. They manipulated small. But it's okay. Still inside this zone. To take this trade is only if you believe is okay. Then you can say, let me try again from this zone. Since they reach this zone, let me try again. This is when you're gonna believe you're gonna trade. But beside that, it's so hard for you to believe that they're gonna come again and hold from there. So this was all the story and the scenario that were in this trade, because I still believe we have to come again this area before we drop again. So let's see where market is going, but so far this is what I believe. So sharp, guys.